You ever get that feeling that life has a hidden set of rules? That for every single step forward, there's some kind of cost attached? Well, today we're exploring a really powerful idea that every gain in life, from money to just being happy, has a price tag. Let's dig into this fundamental principle together. We've all heard that saying, right? There's no such thing as a free lunch. But is that just something people say? Or does it point to something much deeper, a fundamental truth about how the universe actually works? That's the big question we're tackling today.
The idea we're examining suggests this isn't just about economics or society. No, it's something way more profound. The source we're looking at calls it an unbreakable universal principle, the iron law.
Okay, so what in the world is this iron law? Picture a giant cosmic balancing scale. This law basically states that the sum of all the positive energy and all the negative energy in the universe has to equal zero. Always. Everything has to balance out. So every gain you get puts a weight on one side, and every payment you make puts a weight on the other. They have to be equal. So this breaks the whole thing down into a really simple but kind of intense cycle. If you want to gain something, anything, you have to pay a price. But here's the flip side. If you do pay a price, say through hard work or sacrifice, you will absolutely gain a reward. It's a two-way street, no exceptions. So that's the big theory, but how does this iron law actually show up in our day-to-day lives? Let's get practical and look at a few real-world examples to see it in action. Let's start with something obvious, a diamond. Its value, its preciousness, is huge. So to get one, you have to pay a really high price. That just makes sense, right? You can't get something so valuable for pennies. This is the iron law in its most basic, material form. There's this ancient proverb that just captures the whole idea so perfectly. What you lose in one area, or at one time of day, you gain back in another. It's like the universe is in this constant rebalancing act, and that's a core part of this whole iron law. But let's be real, the price isn't always money, is it? And the gain isn't always something you can hold in your hand. This is where the law gets really, really interesting, when we move beyond just physical stuff. Just think about these hidden costs, the ones we don't always consider. Sure, you could gain a ton of money, but maybe the price you pay is your peace of mind. Or you get a life of total comfort, but the cost is draining your bank account. And chasing fame and status, that can absolutely take a toll on your time and even your health. It is all a trade-off. And get this, here's a fascinating twist. The exchange isn't always apples for apples. A material payment, like donating money, can bring you a spiritual gain, like a feeling of deep satisfaction. And it works the other way too. A spiritual payment, like pouring years of creative effort into something, can lead to a huge material reward, like a successful company. I know what you might be thinking, though. What about when things just seem unfair? When it looks like someone gets something for nothing? Well, the argument here is that we're just not zooming out far enough. The balance might not happen in a single moment. It might play out over a whole lifetime, or if you go by certain beliefs, even across multiple lifetimes. But the point is, the cosmic books are always balanced. The debt is always paid. This brings us to one of the toughest questions in life, doesn't it? If everything is balanced, why do we go through hard times? Why do we suffer seemingly random misfortune? If everything has a price, what are we paying for? Now, the answer, from the perspective of this law, is pretty profound. We suffer because at some point in the past, somewhere, sometime, we received a gain. The misfortune is just the universe rebalancing its books. It's the price being paid for a benefit we once got, whether we remember it or not. So let's flip it. What about the good stuff? What about those moments of just pure, unexpected joy? A lucky break, a moment of grace that seems to pop up out of nowhere. Where do those incredible gifts come from? And the logic here is perfectly symmetrical. We experience those happy moments because, somewhere in our past, we paid a price. We endured a hardship, or we made a sacrifice. That joy, that's the reward. That's the gain that we were owed all along. Okay, so if we accept this idea, this cosmic law of balance, what does that actually mean for us? How are we supposed to navigate this system to live better, more balanced lives? The source gives us a pretty clear roadmap. First off, never try to take advantage of other people, because any unfair gain just creates a debt you'll have to pay later. Second, be super wary of things that are free. They always have a hidden cost. Third, create what you need through your own hard work. Earn your gains honestly. And finally, Try to give more than you take. Think of it as putting positive credit into your cosmic account. This is all summed up in a really powerful quote from the material. If you've evaded the penalty on the 1st, you won't escape it on the 15th. I mean, wow. It's basically saying you can run, but you can't hide. Sooner or later, the bill always comes due.
But here's the thing, this isn't something you're just supposed to believe blindly. The author actually gives us a challenge. Don't just take my word for it. Go out and see for yourself. Observe the world, look at your own life and the lives of people around you, and verify if this law holds true.
And that's really the thought we want to leave you with. If you were to look at the grand ledger of your own life, what have you paid? And what have you gained? And as you look forward, what price are you willing to pay for the future you truly want? Because the balance is always, always in motion.